Hi, I'm the Lockpicking Cuber, and in this video I have another puzzle that I got from the CoreMods Etsy store. This one is called a Tangle Cube Mini, and I really don't know anything about it other than that it's a kind of a Rubik's Cube with strings tangled up in it. So let's have a look. Okay, there's their card. Oh, and a kind of cool sticker, I like that. Anyway, so what we have is a 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube, quite small, actually very small, so I'll just compare it with a regular Rubik's Cube. It's tiny. And we have strings attached, and this is really interesting. So this is kind of a bandaging in that these pieces are attached together, but it's not a complete constraint because I can still turn them away from each other. So I guess the point is not so much that these have to turn in sync with each other as that the more you turn, the knottier these strings are going to get. I guess that's the idea. So let's see, maybe I'll just do a scramble in a completely naive way, just ignoring the fact that there are strings. I'll just do a bunch of scrambling moves. I guess this is the idea. And having scrambled it, the question is, how much difference? Oh, there we go, I'm already hitting the strings there. Yeah, I've got a kind of a knot in the blue string there, or a bit of a knot. How much difference? Well, the strings make. Now I'm getting to the point where it's hard to make any more tangling, scrambling moves because the strings are getting so tangled. This is really fun. I like this. Okay, all right, that'll do. I'm gonna have a go at solving it. I can already anticipate one issue, which is that moves that I'm trying to make now that are tangling the strings up more are very difficult to make. Can I do that? Yeah, I can just about do that. So if I want to solve it, I need to do moves that are sort of, generally speaking, untangling. There's a kind of entropy decreasing thing going on here. Anyway, I'm going to just do a white cross because it didn't look too bad. And I'm basically ignoring the strings except for trying to stop them from, getting in my way. Can I just do something a little sneaky here, maybe? No, not really. All right, fine. Come on. Okay, so I've done a cross, and I've completely ignored the strings so far. Let's see, I don't know whether I even need to pay attention particularly to the strings. Oh, that's nice. I've got a free pair there. Like, I'm wondering if what's going to happen is at the end it'll be impossible to untangle the strings without messing up the cube. That would be really interesting. Maybe that's the idea. Yeah, I mean, I've really tied these strings into knots here. Done the first two pairs. Is this going to be possible? Sneaky. All right. Oh, interesting. I must say, I got kind of lucky on this solve in various ways. The strings, I don't think I've been lucky with the strings, but I'm not sure what that would even mean. This is such a weird experience, I have to say. Okay, so that's the first two layers done. I don't think I want to do this algorithm. I suppose I should though. It's just getting harder and harder. Okay, let's do it a different way. I know if I try and complete that algorithm, I'm going to mess it up, so I'm just going to do it in a more basic way. Oh, wow. Okay. I wonder if I can do anything to untangle these yet. I think I kind of have to. Let's see. Oh, this is really fascinating. I've said it before on this channel. I don't know anything about knot theory. I have some friends who do. I think the point here is that having tangled this up by making moves of the puzzle, it is definitely not possible now to disentangle this without making specific moves on the puzzle. And that doesn't stop me solving it necessarily, although the more tangled it gets, the harder it is just to make any moves. But it does mean that having solved it, it will take a lot of effort, I think, to get the strings back into a nice state. Let's see. Oh dear. Again, I don't want to do the algorithm here because I'm just going to mess it up. So I'm just going to do easy algorithms where I know them really well. I can't do it. I can't make that turn. Hang on. Let's see. Can I free anything up here? No, of course not. Right, that one does really want to go that way though, which is the way I want to turn it. So let's see. You know, I cannot think of another puzzle, another Rubik's Cube type puzzle, where you have this kind of soft constraint. So I suppose in a way it's similar to solving with your feet or with one hand or something like that, rather than a change in the puzzle. But I can't think of another puzzle where you have a constraint that you can get past just by sort of using brute force or finesse in the moves. Like normally with bandaging or when pieces are physically connected together by a rod or something like that, it's an absolute constraint. You either can or you can't move the pieces. So this is actually a really fascinating idea. You can make the turn, but should you? Okay. Well, this is getting very difficult to turn now. I suppose another question is, what actually is the solved state of this puzzle? Is it the case that in order to consider this puzzle solved, the strings have to be disentangled from each other? Or are they just an obstacle to the usual solved state? Don't know. Okay, now dare I do an R perm? I don't think I do. I think I'm going to do a T perm just because it's safer. Okay, yeah, that worked. And just a U-perm. Alright, can he do a U-perm? This is insane. But so much fun. Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen, right? Is I'm going to solve it. I hope I'm going to solve it. And then disentangling the strings is going to require me to mess it up again. In ways that I just can't imagine. Wow, actually, is this even a possible puzzle? I don't know. Let's see. Right, so... maybe I should do the old-fashioned U-perm. This one is proving... because it involves a lot of moves in the same direction. You're trying to sort of pull the strings past where they're willing to go. Can I even remember the old beginner's U-perm? I think so. Do this. Oh dear. It's interesting. I wonder if you're guaranteed to end up in this sort of state where all the knots are up above the top layer, and if so, why? You know, if I look at the bottom layer, the layer I did first, it's basically completely clear. The last layer is the one with all the knots above it. I wonder if that's just a coincidence, or if that's always going to happen. See, now this is what I'm talking about. That's kind of as far as it'll go, but I bet if I really force it, I can get it to go further. So it's not just about logic anymore. It's also about like how far are you willing to push the strings to their limits. And what does that then, having done that, does that then make it impossible to do anything else? Okay, so I've managed that move. Yeah, but now there's no way I'm doing this move. Okay. All right, I'm going to stop there. I don't think I'm going to be able to do my U-perm here. What about the M1? Ooh, this is, I think, a really interesting puzzle. The approach that I took, the naive approach that I took of just solving it like a 3x3, scrambling it like a 3x3 and solving it like a 3x3, I think I can pretty confidently say that just doesn't work. I'm guessing what you have to do is discover ways of making moves that leave the strings in their original state. I think that would be a really fascinating way to approach a puzzle like this. I think for now, the only way I'm going to get this back to its original state, honestly, is by taking it apart. Because I think these strings are so knotted now that I don't think moving the pieces is going to help. So there we go. In spite of the fact that I didn't really know what to do with this, I hope you've enjoyed watching me play with the Tangle Cube Mini, which I got from a CoreMods Etsy store. I'll put a link in the description below. I do think this is a really interesting idea. I want to know what the solved state is. Is the solved state just a normal 3x3 Rubik's Cube and you don't care about the strings? Or does solving it involve untangling the strings as well? Those are two different puzzles, I think. So maybe you can choose. I couldn't even get it to the point where I'd solved the Rubik's Cube because of the constraints imposed by the strings. Just doing these last few moves was just proving impossible. But there we go. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.